Welcome to What is Crypto? I'm Matt and this is Crypto. Today I'm going to be talking to you about SPX6900 and I'm going to be giving you the narrative for other meme coins in this same narrative with a lower market cap. So if that sounds like it could be for you and you want to know the competition in the stock to meme coin space, then stick around to the end of the video. Also drop the name of the meme coin you're most bullish on in the comments section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Now with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Alrighty, so SPX6900. If you are not familiar, this is one of the most popular meme coins this cycle. It's currently got a market cap of 1.2 billion and it ran up really from a market cap of in the low millions. So it did a few 100x, absolutely cooking up. This was made popular by Murad, who's the guy behind the meme coin supercycle thesis. And the narrative behind the SPX 6900 is that the S&P 500, referred to as the SPX, is an index of the top 500 companies in the United States. So the goal of SPX 6900 is that this will flip the traditional stock market. So flip the traditional SPX. So they want to do that once and then flip it 69 times. And that is kind of buying onto the whole cult-like community of meme coin holder theory. That is the goal behind SPX 6900. However, currently at a market cap of 1.2 billion, I do find it more difficult to enter this coin. So I've been looking for meme coins in that narrative that I think could be good entries. Now I've got about 6 or 7 for you. I'm going to be giving you which ones I own. Also, I'm going to be talking to you about which ones I think are good entries and which ones I think best to stay away from. So we're going to kick it off going down in order from highest market cap to lowest market cap, and they're all going to be on Ethereum. So next up we have GameStop or GME. So I like this meme coin. I don't personally own it at the moment. That's because there's literally only so many coins you can hold. It's also at a good entry. Now the narrative behind it is twofold. One is that FBB4 is a giga whale who is supportive of GME. The other is because GameStop, the stock, was the first stock to be traded like a meme coin. So if you've heard of Roaring Kitty and GameStop and you know that story, that won't be a shock to you. But if you aren't familiar with that, do a little bit of research, look up Roaring Kitty, look up GameStop, and you'll kind of see why this one makes a bit of sense. So don't currently own this one, although I do think at today's entry at a 20 million market cap, you could justify entering here. Next up, we have MicroStrategy. So we're getting down, the market caps drop off pretty rapidly. Don't personally own this one. Chart isn't showing an enormous amount of life, but it is in essence wanting to flip the real MicroStrategy. So this is MSTR 2100 and MicroStrategy is Michael Saylor's company that is hodling Bitcoin. So narrative there makes a little bit of sense. Not a huge amount of life in the chart. It's looking pretty bled out. Not currently one that I am seriously considering. Next up, we've got NASDAQ 420. So this is flipping the NASDAQ. Narrative makes sense. The community is pretty strong and the price action is a little bit more favorable than MicroStrategy or MSTR 2100. So for me, this one is potentially one on my watch list. Let me know if you like this coin. If you don't like this coin, it's got a pretty divisive community. Don't currently own it, but yeah, it is on the watch list. Below that, we have another one I'm not super interested in, which is just SPX 2.0. Don't personally see a need for this one. It's just a copy and paste to SPX, so no real point of difference. If I'm wrong though, because I haven't done an enormous amount of research into this one, as yet, I just see SPX 6900 2.0, then let me know. So yeah, if you hold this one or you think it's more interesting than I'm giving it credit for, let me know in the comments section. Below that, we then have my personal favorite, so US DGen Index 6900. Now I love this one for a few reasons. One of them is because the ticker is DXY, which is the same ticker as the US dollar index, but this is the US DGen index. So it is an index for the DGens on crypto Twitter. I also love that their goal is to flip the dollar. Now this cleverly happens due to their tokenomics at a market cap of 1 billion. So at a market cap of 1 billion, they will have a token price of $1. So at a market cap of 1 billion, every DXY token becomes more valuable or as valuable as a US dollar. So their whole narrative is that fiat is broken, fiat is going to zero against Bitcoin, and we need a new dollar for the degens. So yeah, I love the fact that it is DXY, US degen index, same ticker as the US dollar index, but yeah, it's got that narrative of monetary debasement and flipping the dollar. I think that is bullish. The price action also looks pretty good. got down to lows of around 140K. It has bounced up since then. The team that's running it has been running it since November, December last year. So they rode it up through the pump all the way down, have been working just as hard. So yeah, really bullish on DXY US DGen Index 6900. I think this is a massive sleeper play. I think a lot of people are going to start looking at it and considering it seriously with SPX breaking out. Next up, after DXY, we've got VIX. So this is a little bit different. Once again, I'm not buying it. I don't like it because it did go down to around 2,000 at its lowest. So at a market cap of 2 million, people were up 1,000x. So I don't love that. But the narrative, VIX, if you're not familiar, it's the ticker for the Chicago Board Options Exchange, or CBOE, Volatility Index. So in essence, that's kind of like a popular measure of the stock market's expectation of volatility. So it's the volatility index. And if you go on VIX 777's site, which is, yep, a little bit interesting, you can see that it is just that COB volatility index. It's a real-time index that represents the market's expectations for the relative strength of near-term price changes of the S&P 500. That's kind of like a hand-in-hand play, SPX and VIX. So a little bit of a point of difference, but yeah, their art is borderline. Probably gonna get my YouTube flagged, so I'm gonna click off it now. Not in this one, not super considering it, but if you're in the community, let me know if you like this coin and why. Next up, we have CSI 888, so that's flipping the Shanghai exchange. Once again, price action looks pretty bled out. Not one of the ones that I'm seriously considering at a market cap of 311,000. And then below that, we have a new one, which I am actually looking at quite a lot at the moment. So MEXC 6900, which is the Memecoin index. So this is an index of all the meme coins. Unlike the others, however, this is really new. So if you look at it on the 4-hourly, you can see that it's only been around for a bit over a week. So the team behind it apparently has some ties with the team that ran up Kecius Maximus. Kecius Maximus went to crazy numbers. I'm not 100% sure on that information, but that is what I have been hearing from multiple different sources. So yeah, it's definitely one that I've got on my watch list. I have added a little bag, but unlike the others, as this is a very new coin, it's going to be super volatile. It's also coiling up at the moment, so it looks like it is going to have a breakout or breakdown. So watch for the price action over the next couple of hours. Keeping my eye on it, as I do think the narrative is there. SPX is absolutely cooking, and I think that there will be betas that will run hard on the back of SPX. SPX is forming kind of like a greater cup and handle pattern. So yeah, if the pattern of SPX does continue like this, I would expect its next move to be a pretty violent one to the upside. And at that point, people are going to FOMO in. And then after that, people are going to look for beta plays to SPX. So I think some of the ones for me that make a lot of sense are GME, DXY, NASDAQ 420, maybe MXY as well. So they're probably the four that are the most interesting. My personal favorite, highest upside in my opinion, is DXY, US DGen Index 6900. I love the narrative of flipping the dollar, monetary debasement, and yeah, just their token being worth $1 with that whole goal of flipping the US dollar and the narrative of fiat going to zero, as well as it being an index for the degens on crypto Twitter. Onboarding all of the degens to try and flip the dollar is a narrative that I can definitely get behind. And I can see it being a narrative that a lot of people get behind as well. That's going to wrap it up for me today, legends. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite stock to meme play below. Let me know why. Let me know if I've missed anything. And yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And I'll catch you in the next one.